And welcome back, Hometown Headlines Radio Edition for this Tuesday morning. Yeah, so far I've not messed that up. I keep thinking I want to say Monday because it's been a 3-day weekend here. So don't worry, by the end of the program today, I'll probably be saying it's Friday. I'm kind of be hoping it will be as well. Joined right now by a gentleman who joins us the first of each month, that kind of area around there, talking about what's happening on Floyd County Police Department. Great push underway from FCPD about Neighborhood Watch and maybe getting you and your fellow homeowners and subdivisions and that kind of stuff organized a little bit, make it more pairs of eyes for the police to go out there and kind of watch out for crime, keep people safe. Sergeant Chris Fincher is here from the Floyd County PD talking about that. Good morning, Mr. Fincher.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing great, and I'll be even better if I do one magic trick here. You know what that is?
The door?
No, you're right. You're good. It's me. Turn your microphone on. We've been sitting here now for 10 minutes talking off air. Oh, yeah. Let's go ahead and bring the rest of the world involved. Chris, thanks for being here this morning.
Not a problem.
Great drive by you guys. Started to see some things popping up on Facebook earlier last month, I guess it was. And I know you've had at least
two. We've had 2 meetings.
2 meetings so far with community groups. Can you say generally where they are, or can you talk about them?
Yes, the Shannon area has had a meeting most recently last week, and the area around Little Texas Valley Road, they've that little neighborhood up there has decided to get in and create a watch group.
And just talk about how, I want to say easy, nothing is easy in this world, but generally if you got some people who are concerned in the neighborhood, who are willing to donate a little bit of their time, this thing can work.
Yeah, and it takes one person to start it off, but really what you need is a group of neighbors working together. That is what helps us to solve crimes, is people being observant, watching, being vigilant in the area where you live. We can't be everywhere at once, unfortunately, so it takes the neighbors watching out for their property, being really observant. And actually part of this neighborhood group is we give out information about how to collect information. There's forms that you can fill out if your watch captain or the person that's assigned for a certain shift happens to observe something. They can write down tag numbers, time of day, who they observed, what they observed, that sort of thing that helps an investigator later on down the line.
No, good idea. More eyes involved in that. And Chris, maybe I'm wrong, but I know where I live at. We're off Tulio. We already have a pretty good neighborhood group. We have a neighborhood Facebook group. And, of course, we know when there's packages missing or whatever it is, dogs missing, dogs found. I mean, it's pretty active. People are kind of shooting around there. This seems to be just one more step to make something like a neighborhood watch work when you already have some kind of, pardon the expression here, I hate this terminology, existing infrastructure on social media. It should not be that hard to even make it one step further.
Yeah, and social media is really good, and social media is not really getting to where you need to be. Part of having a neighborhood watch is being organized, everybody getting together and meeting and talking about things that need to be done. Social media is really good for the neighborhood watch to communicate back and forth and to put it out there, especially to post pictures if they see something. And that's the big thing that we encourage people to do. If they see something, everybody's got a camera phone now. Yep. So pull out your camera phone. Don't hesitate to take a picture. If this person is unusual or different in your neighborhood, don't hesitate to take a picture.
No, good idea about that. And you're right, everybody does have cameras nowadays. And I still think a lot of this stuff already is floating around. I mean, again, back to, we got a weird silver van cruising our neighborhood kind of thing and all, So all eyes are on that, on that silver van.
And it's not only for theft and burglary, but you also got issues with children.
Yep.
And predators that are out skulking in the neighborhood. So that's the other aspect of having a neighborhood watch. And if you have the signage up and you make it known that you're watching, that makes the thief a little more hesitant to enter your neighborhood.
Well, good point. And a lot of folks, will put up there, people who go a step further may have the home alarm system,
right,
that kind of stuff. And you always see this house protected by whatever. Of course, you see some other spinoffs on that too. But it does give them a little pause. Think, okay, if I knock on the door here, if I do something else here, I mean, it's going to set off some alarms, and there's going to be you guys showing up and that type of stuff. But like you said also, y'all can't be everywhere. I mean, what are you guys, 70, 80 members of the police department?
76.
76. This is a big county. How many miles y'all patrol?
76. You're putting me on the spot. I can't remember.
See,
right
hey
now.
man,
it's big though.
It's big. You got a big. You need those extra eyes. And again, it's the stuff we're all doing out there. All right. So let's say you've just been through Shannon. You've been through Little Texas Valley here. What happens next with these groups? To tell them how easy it is to kind of what's the next step.
We encourage them to assign roles. Somebody needs to be in charge. Then you're going to organize. You're going to establish shifts. Some people sleep during the day. You know when you sleep. So if you're up at night, it's going to be best for you to be awake at night. And it's not hard if you're sitting and watching TV and you happen to see a car go down the street that's not normally going down the street. The paper carrier normally arrives at a certain time. So if something happens unusual, you can get out, check the windows, and look and see what's going on. So you're gonna assign those roles. We're going to provide you with the paperwork that needs to be filled out. We're also going to give you information about how to contact the police department. The other thing that I like is we will be able to provide you with training from time to time. If you'd like, we can come out, give you advice. We can also meet with you from time to time if you'd like. We can't meet every time. We encourage you to meet often, but from time to time we can bring investigators out if there happens to be a problem in your neighborhood. The investigator can talk about updates and what's going on.
Now, of course, one thing is that despite the world of Facebook where we let everybody know when we're boiling water for dinner or whatever else is going on here, I don't want to be identified. I want to be anonymous, that kind of stuff.
That's fine.
No one's name, you're right. No one's name's got to come out in this stuff.
Nope, absolutely not. And there's more often we're having people messaging the Facebook page that don't want to be identified, and that's fine. People sending us pictures of vehicles, and that's fine. But we encourage you to get together with your neighbors. It can't be done solo. You need to be together with your neighbors, talking about what's going on to fix your problem.
Good point about that. We're going to take a break right here. Sergeant Chris Fincher's here, Floyd County Police Department, talking about Neighborhood Watch. Chris, before the break, though, if they want to contact you guys, maybe be away from the next segment here, how can they reach you guys?
Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
You guys are everywhere. That's for darn. Hey, look, that's where I got this little information here from as well. All right, he's Chris Fincher. John Druckenmiller here. More about Neighborhood Watch after the break. Hometown Headlines, Radio Edition, Rome's News Talk, WRGA. And welcome back, Hometown Headlines Radio Edition for this Tuesday morning. Before we get back to Sergeant Fincher here, breaking news per David Kreider, per WBHF in Cartersville. As expected, the Bartow County coroner has identified the landfill victim as Courtney DeBose from Fairmont, West Virginia. That assumption's been made a lot in recent days over Facebook, social media, as somebody matched a missing in West Virginia post that showed the distinctive chest tattoos of Miss DeBose, and a lot of assumption it was her. Now that has been confirmed again by the Bartow County coroner, Joe Guyton. We'll work on that for you here in a couple of minutes. Mr. Fincher, let's come back to talk about Floyd County. What's going on? Again, Neighborhood Watch programs, already 2 communities looking at doing this stuff. How about giving us some tips?
Sure. We also talked about organizing and getting together with your neighbors, but don't forget about your churches. And there's also civic groups within a lot of the neighborhoods, so that's a really good way to network. But the big thing is that I wanted to talk about is if you go on vacation and that sort of thing, Neighborhood Watch is really good for watching your back and looking out for everybody. The thing about vacation is you want to have somebody to make sure to have your paper and your mail picked up. That's a big clue for people who want to steal. Also, a fact that a lot of people don't know as far as the mailbox: don't keep your flag up. Try to make it to the post office. Don't expect the post office to pick up your package, because, for one, if you've got a bill or something, that's a really good indication for a thief to take your check out and to manipulate that check for their own benefit. But also, on vacation, if your mailbox is stacked up, it's not unusual for us to go out and find people just rummaging through mailboxes. So that's the one thing. Also, keep your lawn mowed. If you're sick, if you have an elderly relative, try to take care of their lawn, because that attracts attention. If something's not well maintained, that gives a person the impression that you don't really care about what's going on. So that helps as well. Keep your interior lights on. If you have a garage, also around the property, try to keep at least a floodlight on. Sensors help a lot. I recommend to everybody Wi-Fi surveillance systems. You can get that really cheap. I'm not going to advertise a specific brand, but you can get those at local retailers. You can also get them on Amazon.com. They're easy to install. It's up to you, but I don't encourage necessarily monitoring by a company. You can do it on your cell phone. The system that I have, I get an alert every time somebody comes in the house. If an animal sets it off, you can set the sensitivity on it to back it off, but you can always just check in on what's going on at the house. Surveillance is really cheap nowadays, and the quality on the cameras is amazing. We've caught several people doing that with the camera systems, especially the burglaries that we've had. And they're entering autos in our Murchie. We've got really good video of people, and when they see those cameras, that's a deterrent as well.
No, good idea about that. I know a lot of folks, and you've seen some of the commercials now about people getting the doorbell, doorbell things and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. But like I said, this actually is not that expensive.
No, and the cheapest thing, lock your doors.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, a lot of the entering autos that we have, your thief doesn't want to attract attention, so they're not going to bust the window. They're looking for doors that are unlocked, so they're just going around popping doors. And if a door opens, they're going to go inside and get things. So when you go in, take the things out of your car, take your valuables out of your car. But the big thing is, and this doesn't cost you anything, lock your doors.
And I'll ask this question. I know the answer. Why don't we do that? I mean, I grew up in Florida, which was, we used to be a wide open territory. Everywhere I've ever lived, though. I mean, I taught my son. I mean, you always lock your car door. I don't care what you're doing. You go in and get a Coke at a 7-Eleven, lock that door in your car, because they'll leave stuff hanging around or whatever it is. You used to have a change, a thing in the middle of the car filled with change, and all. So you're going to come back and it's going to be wiped out, man. Just lock. Why don't we want to lock our doors?
We like to be comfortable in the area that we're in. We like to think that we live in a good place. I don't know. There have been times that I have come out in the morning and found my car door open. I've just forgot to close my car door. Sometimes things happen, but I feel like we like to be comfortable in the place that we live. We have confidence in that we live in a good area, so we leave our cars unlocked.
Well, I agree. You don't want to be paranoid. I totally agree with that. At the same time, though, it's just kind of like, I'm like you, just make the common sense thing. I even think a lot. I always tell my family, we lock the doors because if something does go wrong, it buys you 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 more seconds. You got time to say, hey, Siri, call 911 or whatever it is. You by yourself, I was afraid I was going to set my phone off there. You got time to do things like that. I don't understand why it was homeowners and as parents or whatever it is, take that extra step. It just helps delays things. Chris, we are about out of time here real quick. If people want to reach you guys one more time about setting up a neighborhood watch, how can they do so?
Facebook is the easiest way to do it. Direct message us. Give us your name, all your contact information. We'll be in touch with you and set up a meeting.
And again, that information is all confidential, so if anybody's worried about being identified by somebody who may be a little bit more on the other side of the fence, so to speak, here, they never know your name. And we have 4 groups that have actually contacted us that we are trying to get in touch with. So that's 6 groups total that have contacted us. So we're ready to go for you. All right, 2 meetings underway, 4 more coming up. Great job of that, Chris. We do appreciate that. Quick break again. The landfill victim has been identified. More online, more on WRGA, Hometown Headlines Radio Edition.